Live pictures there outside the Friendly Temple Missionary Baptist Church in St. Louis on Martin Luther King Drive, and you see them clapping, the music that they're playing here for the funeral of Michael Brown that's taking place inside this church, just getting started this hour. And take a look at what's happening outside as well. We understand that the line snaked around this church earlier as people were getting ready for the processional to go on in. But remember, police say the 18-year-old was killed August 9th by Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson, and violent protests have been happening there for several days. This has sparked so much controversy. But this is the thing. Michael Brown's father really wants a day of peace today. I want to tell you, he said, and I'm quoting here, "Please, please take a day of silence so we can lay our son to rest." So forgetting all the discord, forgetting all of what this might mean to other people, they just want to have these moments, and you see them here. This was just a few minutes ago as they were getting ready to walk into the church, as they're shaking hands with folks there. They are just asking, let us bury our son and deal with the grief today without any political undertones here. In fact, Sabrina Fulton, the mother of Trayvon Martin, said there are no words that can bring comfort to her as a mother by seeing her son in a casket, speaking, of course, about Mom Leslie McSpadden there. Listen, our legal analyst, Mo Ivory, is in St. Louis today. And Mo, thank you so much for taking time out of this moment to be with us. I know that you're an invited guest there attending the funeral. What's your connection to the Brown family? How did you first meet them?
Well, I actually have not met the Brown family. I've been in contact with Attorney Benjamin Crump and Attorney Darrell Parks, and I was also very close to Sabrina Fulton, who, you know, of course, I covered Trayvon Martin's death, and I just felt very, connected to this story, and I felt it very important for me to come here and to pay my respects to the family and just to begin the peace process.
So, Mo, we saw this picture of what it looks like outside the service. Can you give us a sense of what it feels like to be there? You know, the energy, the people that are there. You know that his dad passionately asked that there be no protests. You're not seeing anything like that, are you?
No, not at all. In fact, I just saw Michael Brown Sr. get out of his car, and he was, very calm, and everybody was, waiting for his arrival, and they ushered him into the church. I've been out here since very early in the morning, and it's been absolutely peaceful. There's a total sense of, just trying to give Michael Brown a funeral that he deserves, for his family to be able to pay the respects that they've been waiting for to do for 2 weeks now, while all the autopsies and everything was going on. So it's very peaceful. And it really is a time to stay away from the negativity and the sort of, heightened sense of, community discord, and to concentrate on burying Michael Brown today and letting a family put a loved one to rest.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, Mo, we're looking at pictures right now inside the church there, and the clapping and the singing and the energy, it's electric. It's probably, when you think of the energy at a funeral, I don't think this is what you expect. It's almost as though they are really focusing on celebrating his life rather than focusing on his death. Is that the sense you're getting?
Oh, absolutely, and I'm very, I can't wait to go inside. I know that they placed a red Cardinals cap on the top of his casket so that people could remember that he was a boy, that he enjoyed things just like any boy did, and that he was not a thug walking around the streets trying to cause havoc. And so I think today it is a celebration of his short life, and that is certainly the tone that is going on here today.
There are a lot of going to be some real important speakers here. And it will be interesting to hear what they have to say. We know that Reverend Al Sharpton is going to be giving the eulogy, and we have White House representatives who are there in this crowd as well. I've read different reports that this place can house up to 4,000. I read it's only about 2,500. Can you give me an estimate of how many people you think are there?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you the line is down the block. Cars and people. I mean, I don't really know how to count the amount, but I probably believe that the church will be to the capacity. When you come off of one street and you turn onto Martin Luther King Boulevard, you come to a complete standstill because there's that many people lined up. Earlier this morning when I was here, people were already here at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m. So there have been a constant stream of people, so I'm sure that it will be a full house.
A reminder, this is the public service, obviously. They did have a private memorial yesterday, and we know that there are about 100 friends and family there. And Ben Crump telling us that the mom, Leslie McSpadden, Brown's mom, was able to spend about 20 minutes alone with her son. And we're so grateful that she got that time with them, especially since they had not even seen the body for 2 weeks. That just seems, I mean, you're an attorney. Would that be standard when there's so many questions around a situation like this, or is that odd to you?
Well, it's definitely odd to me, but so is this entire case. Everything that has gone on in this case has not been standard. So, I mean, I know that what the family wanted was for the process, the evidence, the forensics that they needed in order to support a conviction, to support an indictment. They wanted that to be done. So I know that they were, even as heart-wrenching as it has been for them, they wanted the process to work and to gather the evidence that they would need to ultimately be able to find justice for their son. So nothing has been standard with this situation at all. It still is not. But I do think that the family has cooperated in that manner because they want the best possible outcome for the killer of their son.
Mo, do you know?
Well, you know, the best possible legal outcome.
Right. Yeah, right. I knew what you meant. When we look at these pictures of the crowds outside, clearly all of those people do not believe that they're going to get inside that church. Do you think that it's safe to assume they're going to be staying there and perhaps, I don't know, when the family leaves and they're in their processional, that they're going to be cheering them on almost like a parade to show their support for this family? Is that what we expect?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Listen, it is so hot out here right now, as you can tell.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. People do not care about the weather conditions. They do not care about, they are here to support the family, to come to this funeral, to pay their respects to Michael Brown, and to stand out here with signs to show their support for the things that need to change, which is a change in the justice system, a change in the way things are happening here in St. Louis, in Ferguson. So I think that you will see, you know, the cars being followed by people, supporters. Let's get rid of the word protesters at this point, and let's call them supporters of Michael Brown and the family that will probably surely continue to do that throughout the day today.
So, Mo, when you see the support for this family and this young man in this community, do you have any doubt that we are watching right now something history-making, that we're going to see some change somehow?
I pray for that. I don't think there should have to be one more dead black boy or man before some things begin to change. Let Michael Brown be the last one where these lawmakers come and speak at his funeral, but then they go back and they do something about the very laws and the very condition that we found ourselves here for. So I really do hope that this is the start of a new movement, of a movement that will turn into change, that will, like I said, change laws, change economics, change the situation, and there doesn't have to be this gathering all over again for another boy with a different name.
You know, I'm looking at the people who will be speaking. We'll hear, you know, this family tribute from Bernard Ewing, who is one of Brown's uncles, from his stepmother, Cal Brown, from his cousin, Ty Pruitt. I also see down the line the president of the National Bar Association, Pamela Means, is going to give some special remarks. That seemed a little odd to me. I guess just because this is supposed to be a day just to remember him. If there's somebody from the Bar Association, what do you think she's going to say? How is she going to contribute today?
Yeah, well, I mean, she's definitely going to talk about the things that need to be changed judicially. And I think that since the family did have their private time yesterday, I do think that this is more of celebration, but also an opportunity to send out a very loud message. I mean, as you can tell, media from all across the world is here. And unfortunately, this is the way that we get the attention that we need put on issues. So I think she's here to represent the judicial aspect of this, to talk about change laws, to talk about things that need to happen. So while it might seem a little like, what would she she have to say, I do understand the need for somebody to speak to those inherent problems that we have in our justice system.
Sure, especially while you have such a huge amount of people, this huge volume of people paying attention right now. Mo Ivory, we so appreciate your time. I know that it's sweltering there. That's how it has been described to me. So thank you so much for bringing us that perspective. So good to see you today. And do stay close as we continue to watch the funeral as it's beginning. The funeral for 18-year-old Michael